Swear to God, I'm a retard. Oh, hello. Hello. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, my goodness. Guys, I am not a technical person at all. It's driving me crazy. First time live on YouTube. Golly. Let me see here. First time. It's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. There's some people that I know that are so tech savvy, and I'm over here like, how do I turn my computer on? That is how it is. So sorry I'm late. I also can't figure out how to change the time zone setting on on my YouTube. So like I wanted to go live at 7 and it was saying 8 and then it was saying 6 and I couldn't figure that out either. So of course, of course, of course. I'm also live on Facebook too, although Facebook never shows me um comments. So, hopefully you guys can come over here and comment here and all this other stuff. So, um oh, there we go. Okay. Now we've got people. Sassy. Hello, Sassy. Hello, Nemesis. How are you guys? Uh, I want to give everybody like a second or two to like come on, whether it's Facebook or whether it's YouTube. Again, like I said, this is my first time live on YouTube. Usually I upload to YouTube. But it is what it is. So I wanted to while we're waiting for a few more people, do I look better today? You know, I have days where things are rough, and then I have days where, you know, um, I pull it off. Hopefully this doesn't make anybody uncomfortable. If you see it, it doesn't make me uncomfortable. Um, so I hope it doesn't make anybody else uncomfortable. Most people that know me and have known me for 10 plus years know why it's there. So, um, I'm trying to wrap my head around this, and I want to have. Oh, thank you, Sassy. I love you too. I want to have a conversation. I want to open the floor. I want to have an open conversation about things that I have discovered. And the only reason I discovered these things is because it came across on a reel, and I'm like, oh, what the heck is this? More, propaganda, lies, bull crap, and I'm a free thinker. I try to be very open to a lot of different theories and ideas and what people have to say. I really just try to just keep it wide open. So let me get some coffee here. We drink coffee way too much in this house. So I saw this reel, and I'm sure if I play part of it, um, YouTube will not like that as far as playing somebody else's reel. um, but the guy, his name is Brandon Aceto. I hope I'm saying that right. Brandon Aceto, Aceto. I'll actually put it in the comments right now in case you guys want to go check it out for yourself. Um, so I'm watching this reel and it's talking about dark MAGA. And I remember watching some of the rallies and stuff pre-election. And so every now and again, Elon would come on and he's doing his thing and, promote. Like I did promotions for a very long time when I was in my 20s. It was kind of like a side gig. I did a lot of modeling and opening concerts and doing shows before concerts and, just, grand openings for restaurants and bars and tattoo shops and a million and two other things. So I understand how promotions work. You know what I'm saying? And then, I remember him saying that he was dark MAGA. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. Like, why can't you just keep it MAGA? What's dark? And everybody's like, oh, he's like so cool. Hey, Bill is here. Um, Jessica, how are you? And so everybody is like, oh yeah, he's like totally cool. He's trying to do the goth demographic, of dark MAGA. I think even one time he said, I'm dark goth MAGA, and I'm just like, whatever, Jessica, if you make any comments here on Facebook, more than likely I'm not going to be able to see them. But I am live on YouTube also, poured out Tammy. So If I'm not seeing your comments and you want to jump over here, that's awesome. Um, so I'm like, huh. So I watched this reel from this guy named Brandon, and he starts to explain things a little bit about the dark maga. And what I want to do is I kind of want to talk a little bit about a word which I'm sure some of you are not familiar with because I wasn't until I saw this reel from this guy. But it's called technocracy or technocracy. I don't know if anybody's heard it. Has anybody heard it? Once upon a time, Elon wasn't good, Bill says. Here's the thing, and this is just my personal feeling. Sorry, guys, just make sure Jessica's not commenting. Um, technocracy, sassy, yes. I've never really cared either way about Elon. I never had a opinion about him. I didn't, I thought he was just like a little bit weird, like, you're kind of a little bit out there, but when you have that much money, you can be or act however you want, I suppose. I mean, I see people that have like, no money and they're just crazy and they act funny. And I'm like, whatever, that's just your personality. That's cool. Good for you. Um, so this guy Brandon is going on about how, Elon is talking about dark maga and so he starts to explain this word technocracy or technocracy, and I'm like, what the hell is this, and how is this connected to Elon or Trump's administration or cabinet or any of these things? Like, what is this guy getting at? So I watched his reel, and I took some notes only because one, I can't play it for you. I can put the link in the comments after. You guys can go and watch him. He explains it. I'm sure he's going to explain it much better than me. Oh, Jessica, I can see your comments. Awesome. Awesome. You know what's funny? I like how I look on this camera versus this camera, but who cares? Back to technocracy. So I did take some notes because I want to be able to say a lot of things. But again, this guy Brandon will explain it a lot better and smoother than myself. So first, let me get into technocracy. Basically, and I'm going to try to like leave some of the things for later because I want to be able to connect all these pieces. And what I want is I want you guys to sit and think about like what I'm saying, completely open-minded. Let's pretend that just for a split second that it's not Trump that's president, it's somebody else, and Elon is there doing what he's doing, and everybody is still doing what they're doing. Because I know a lot of times people will go into um, this like, you know, Trump is amazing. There's nobody better. He is the savior. I don't care what you say. He's awesome, epic, and all of these things. And don't get me wrong, I voted for him. I like a lot of what he does. Hello, Nana. How are you? Um, but nobody is perfect. No human is perfect, and no closet is clean. And so there are a few things that I just don't particularly care for about Trump. Just like I'm sure there's things about me that you guys just don't care about. You know what I'm saying? It is completely normal. It's human nature and it's okay. Like it's totally okay to not be so blinded by everything to where you can't see truth if truth is there or question things. Like we have to be able to question things. So technocracy started in like the 1930s. Um, no, I'm sorry. Dark Enlightenment. Whoa, technocracy came a little bit before that. I'll get into dark enlightenment because it's basically the ideology of technocracy. I know I'm going to confuse a lot of freaking people right now. That's why I took a lot of notes. So it was started in the 1930s, but it was considered so dangerous that it was actually banned in Canada, the type of ideology, the political party, you could say. It began to get a little bit of steam, but we kind of smacked into like World War II, and it kind of put a lot of things on hold as far as this party is concerned. Um, so it kind of faded out slightly. I'm going to give you the basic definition of what technocracy is. Again, this guy Brandon goes way more into the definition and all of these things. But basically, it's the science of social engineering, the scientific operation of the entire social mechanism and mechanics to produce and distribute goods and services to the entire population. That's part of technocracy. It's only part of, because obviously all governments or all groups or all whatever have a lot of different layers, and this is no exception, believe me. And if a lot of people remember, if you ever watch some of the reels that Musk has done where he talks about things like goods and services and how in the near future goods and services could be free or next to free. um, and when asked how or why, like, how is that possible, or why would you say that? And he said, when you have over 1 million robots building, producing, and distributing, there's no need to pay for something that's basically free. Robots, you're not going to be paying them. They're not on the payroll. Brain implants, yeah, sassy. So many times, and you'd have to go on X too. It is on X. It's been quoted all the way back to 2020, when it was Twitter, like all these other things. Elon has mentioned here and there, like these small little tidbits about technocracy. I think there was even one point where he changed his business. It was a business filing, so he filed himself as a techno king. Um, so let me digress. Um, Musk has talked about universal basic income, which it's not like SSI. It's not like, you get your SSI when you're done working or anything like that. It has nothing to do with that. All of that would be gone and abolished, and everybody would have a basic income. And the a lot of the words and a lot of how they're phrasing things are very euphoric, and you're like, yeah, like that sounds like a perfect thing. Just check this. Okay. Um, to get an income, not have to work, not have a want for anything. But you have to remember, every time you get something, you have to give something. And a lot of times when it comes to something that governs you, it's usually freedoms, some kind of freedoms. You have to give something to them in order for them to be, you know, in power. You're never going, I hate to say this, and I have "We the People" tattooed on me. I believe that 100,000%, but we will never be in control. We the people will never actually just have that say. Um, that's how government works. That's how these things go. It's like false advertising. They want to make you feel like you're in charge. They want to make you feel like you're being heard. They want to make you feel like what you think matters, and none of it does. And that's the really scary part. Except, except, Sassy says. So let me go on. So there was two philosophers. One was named Nick Land, and one was named Curtis Yarvin. They basically developed what they call dark enlightenment, which is directly out of technocracy. Okay, they kind of molded their own a little bit, added a little here, took a little bit away, but it's under the technocracy type of governing government, but it's not government. You can't even call it government anymore. I don't know what they would call it, but this dark enlightenment, um, they created this way of thinking. And there are a lot of people, and you can go and look at books. There's a lot of books that you can go and look up that talk about technocracy or the dark enlightenment. But the scary thing is, and the thing that I'm trying to wrap my head around, is how many people that are in powerful positions, whether it's government or whether it's private sector, business CEOs, whatever, support and or believe and or agree with a lot of this ideology. And it's a pretty scary ideology. And we're going to get into a little bit of it. And I know that you guys are going to say this is crazy. And no, I can't see this happening, not with these people. These people are amazing and they're great and they're the saviors and we love them. to the very end. So China back in the 1930s was kind of like a testing bed for dark enlightenment slash technocracy. And if you see them today, now that it's basically almost a full implement, and it's so weird because honestly, in a strange way, it reminds me of like a Scientology type of thing. Like the people that believe in this, the people that are following this, the people that um, are trying to put this into play remind me a lot of how Scientology works, how they are trying to fill you with this false sense of security, this false sense of being saved and not to worry. And it's scary. Like if you know anything about Scientology and the way those people think, it's really scary. But people that follow it truly, really believe in it and have no problem with it. And that's where I have a problem with something. So China was the testing bed. And if you think about it, they have the your social credit score, face recognition. So you can't even jaywalk without getting a ticket or a fine. They say in the mail, but technically it's not. It's taken out of their credit money. So all of their banks, please don't think for one second that this is not something that can't happen. All of their banks are connected to institutions that can just take their money. If they don't willingly give it, they can just take it. Um, And so you will get a ticket in the mail for jaywalking or for standing outside a non-smoking area. Boom, face recognition. Boom, they know exactly who you are. They know what time you were there. They know what cigarette you were smoking. They know how long you were standing there. The fine goes out. Your social credit score gets knocked down. So China was uh, uh, um, a testing bed for this. If you think about how China is, and everybody's like, oh, the way they treat their people, the way they do this, the way they do that, that is part of that technocracy, that dark enlightenment. Seriously, it's very true. It's in the book, it's in one of the books written about technocracy. Yes, sassy. I totally agree, girl. Hey, Peyton, how are you? Um, let's talk about let's talk about JD Vance, right? JD Vance. Because until he was nominated for vice president and started going around with Trump, I never heard of him. I had never heard of him. I'm like, "Who is this guy?" Like, I don't know every single senator and every single governor and every single mayor and every single representative. I don't. But the ones that are making marks and doing these things and these strides and these steps and really trying to you just know their names because you hear that on the news. Well, Bill, probably for a good reason, okay? So JD Vance went to Yale to be a lawyer. So he studied law. Now I'm going to mention a name. I'm going to mention a name, and some of you, Bill, I'm sure you've heard of it. His name is Peter Thiel. Okay, Peter Thiel is a pretty crazy person. He's very out there. But he is a big supporter of the Dark Enlightenment and or technocracy. Um, so he was speaking at Yale. Hello, Grace. How are you? He had a speaking engagement at Yale where he spoke about I don't know what because it wasn't talked about in the video that I watched. But he had a speaking engagement. Somehow he started talking to JD after the speech he gave, and they hit it off like right away. And they started talking about the things that they see for the future, for the country, for the people, for this and that. And they kind of found out, hey, Crystal girl, Crystal, why are you not on my YouTube? Gosh darn it. They had actually a lot in common with how they thought things should go in the future moving forward. So I'm going to break it down just a little bit. I took the notes from this, again, video that I cannot play, but I will share the link. So in 2011, at Yale, giving a speech was Peter Thiel. Vance was a student. After Thiel's speech, they get together and they have a nice talk. Just said that. Then, out of nowhere, now remember, Peter Thiel is a billionaire. He's got money out the wazoo. Again, anybody on Facebook that's watching, I'm really sorry. I can't see comments. It says nobody's here on top, but I see people are in there. I'm sorry. Jump over to YouTube if you want. I can see the comments here. Totally good. Um, just so you know, I'm not ignoring anybody on Facebook. So Thiel decides he's going to mentor Vance. Why? Nobody knows. Nobody really knows, and he's never been questioned on that. So after graduation, this Peter Thiel, convinces Vance to not become a lawyer. Hey, all this college, don't worry about it. I'll pay the bill. I'll foot the bill for that. I'm going to have you do something else. I'm going to give you an offer of a lifetime, right? He wanted him to become a partner at a venture capital firm. And in 2016, Thiel gives Vance money to start his own capital firm. Just, yeah, why not? You think like I think, let's get you into politics. Let's put you in place. Kind of like playing chess. So in 2001, Thiel introduces Tramp Vance to Trump. Then Thiel donates one of the largest campaign donations in history, which was $15 million to J.D. Vance to run for office, which he, of course, won. Surprising. Money is the key to everything, right? If I had a lot more money, you guys probably would like me a lot more. I'd have a nicer setup. My hair would be done. I'd have pretty nails. And you guys would like me more because I had the money to do that. Money is everything. Why? Because he has the same ideology. So in June of 2024, Trump was at a dinner with somebody named David Sachs and Chamath. And they were urging for Trump to pick Vance for vice president. Because Trump was like, well, who should I pick? What do you guys think? Who should I pick? Hey, Alvin. Hey, Dino. And so some of these moguls said, hey, you know what? JD Vance, he's got, a law background. He just won his election. He's doing great things in his state. He's one of us. And that's always been something that's lingered, and you'll hear it. You'll hear it not only from Musk, but even from JD, our people. He's one of us. So what is that? What does that actually mean? Nobody's ever clarified what the one of us or whatnot is. Crystal, there you are. Hello. Hi, Crystal. Jason McCaddy is here. PayPal money, no pun intended. Yes, PayPal, the PayPal mafia. Boy, Jason, you're on top of it. Thank you, Sassy. I appreciate it. So Trump's like, hey, you know what? All my buddies here at this dinner, they really like this Vance guy. Maybe I'll talk with him and we'll see what goes on. So he becomes the running mate with Trump for vice president. That's how easy that was. That's how easy that actually was. And ironically, at that same point in time, people were starting to back Trump who hadn't been backing him or who hadn't been mentioning him or having much of an opinion, like Elon Musk. And suddenly Zuckerberg. Then suddenly this guy. And everybody's like, wow, like, man, Trump is really like the great bringer together. He's just like that guy that's just so charismatic, so amazing and charismatic that just everybody is molding and melting into whatever he wants. That's what the general public thinks. I never thought that way. I think to myself, why is this so easy? And what exactly is going on? And why are all these people not so much Musk, but people like Zuckerberg. Like, why is it suddenly you decide that you want to be on this side? You're gonna stop censorship, which sorry, you don't, because I'm proof of that on Facebook right now. I see people are coming in. I can't see any comments. It tells me I'm live with nobody here. And I will always be censored because facial recognition remembers and knows that I am Tammy, never Hillary Lee. Hello, Matthew. I just polyurethaned your table the other day, Matt. Love it. I love it to this day. Um, but I'll always be remembered as Tammy, never Hillary Lee on facial recognition. And what did I do? I was out there for years, traveled this country. I think I did 61,000 miles on the Freedom Van. That's how much I traveled all over to every rally, putting rallies together, helping other people organize rallies, promoting everything that I could, being everywhere that I could, speaking everywhere that I could. And at the height of what I was doing, I was a superstar. And I don't mean to say that in a conceited way. I do not. Please do not think that I mean that in a conceited way. What I mean is when I said I was going to do something, I did it. When I said I was going to be somewhere, I was there. People listened to what I had to say. For me, a bad day was when I only had 200 people in a stream. I'm like, oh, where is everybody? Nobody's listening. Where is everybody? That was a bad day for me. And people that it mattered to didn't like that. And I'm not talking about people in the Patriot movement. I'm not talking about them. We know certain people didn't like it. They didn't like it because of it wasn't them. They weren't doing it. It was me, you know, a woman. Sorry to say it. I don't want to break any hearts here because trust me, I'm not like a rah rah rah. Women are amazing and the best. I'm not that person. But I'm just being honest. The truth is that 95% of the people didn't like what I was doing because either they couldn't do it themselves, they wouldn't do it themselves, or they didn't have a vagina. And I was out there doing things that they were only talking about. But I digress. A lot of streams, a lot of places. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, New York women are different. I was born in Jersey, lived in New York forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, and we are just a different breed. I'm also Czechoslovakian and a little bit of Italian, so I'm feisty, I'm headstrong. Don't tell me I can't do it because I will prove you wrong. That's just how I am. You're welcome, Matthew, if you're still here. Your table is gorgeous. I love it. I absolutely love it. If anybody wants some real authentic, like just awesome wood furniture. Look up Matt. He's in New York. He's freaking incredible. Just beautiful craftsmanship. I just love it. All right, don't let me get off track because I do that a lot. Okay, so let me digress here. We've got Elon taunting dark maga, the dark enlightenment. It rejects democracy and favors an authoritarian, I can't talk, system at the hands of a corporate governed structure. So when we're looking at what's happening and who is in play and who is in the cabinet and who is on the sides of Trump, we've got a lot of buco, major power players in the technology field and in the business field, moguls, billionaires. It's undeniable. We can't say it's not true. It is. And that's kind of part of what this technocracy or dark enlightenment is all about. It's all about getting rid of government employees. They came up with an acronym called RAGE, which has nothing to do with me. RAGE, RAGE, remove all government employees. It's in the book, it's in the manifesto, it's in what the creators of, let me make sure I'm getting their names right. I'd hate to give you the wrong information. What Curtis Yarvin and Nick Land had for the idea for the Dark Enlightenment. It is. J.D. Vance has been caught many times quoting in interviews Yarden a lot and supporting it and saying that he agrees with a lot of what Yarden says. Enfield. These are two people that are extremely rich, extremely powerful, and have the same ideology. Again, I'm trying to wrap my head around this. Like, wait a minute. And the thing is that also in the back of my mind, I think to myself, is this something that like the president knows, but he's kind of like, listen, we got a job to do. I'll handle that later. I know what's going on. I'm keeping a close eye on it. Like, I wonder if that's something he has in his back pocket, like up his sleeve. Like, I know, but I'm gonna pretend I don't know for now. I'm gonna hope it's something where he's not going to deal with it now. Maybe that's why Musk has a time limit of May 30th to do his job and get out. Maybe that's why he's not going to be around for long, because the longer you let something fester, the more it boils over. Not good. I think that we depend too much on Elon. I think that scares me. I think it scares me that we kind of depend on him like a whole lot to be that savior. I've seen people say it in streams and in comments that he's like the savior. He's the savior. Now, don't get me wrong, I am sure there is a savior out there. And I'm not going to get into religion. It's just not something I do. You know, I got my own relationship with God, but I also have my own relationship with nature, my own relationship with myself, the universe. I'm not a hippie. I'm not. I mean, I'm not. Nothing. Not that there's anything wrong with hippies, but my beliefs and where I pull my positive energy and my spirituality comes in many forms. Um, I don't want to think it comes from a man, any man or woman in a political position or any position. My doctors aren't saviors. You know, my customers aren't saviors. My governor's not a saint. I find that it's just we're mincing words, and I think we're blending things too much together, and it becomes so normal that it's like, yeah, he is great. Wow, you know, he's a savior. Like, look what he's doing. He's doing amazing things. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that what Doge is doing is not amazing. It is amazing what he's doing. But what's the long game? And when I say long game, I don't mean 50 or 60 years from now. I mean 10 years from now and 5 years from now, which is completely and absolutely possible if you listen to certain things that Musk says. In X amount of years, I'm going to have 1 million robots. You have 1 million robots, you rule the world. When you own something like Starlink, collection of data, you have a 1 million, possibly more AI robot army. You rule the world. I'm sorry. I don't give two shits who you think you are. No, no. I want to mention a company. I want to mention to you a company. I have like 6 pages of notes, guys. I'm sorry. And they're not chronological. Palantir, if I'm saying that right, let me put it in the chat so you guys can look this up. Palantir, that is a data collecting and distribution company that Peter Thiel is a part of. Peter Thiel, again, who mentored J.D. Vance, again, who believes in technocracy, the dark enlightenment. He is in all control of data mining, data saving, data services, contracts, and most of his contracts are with government agencies, the CIA, the FBI, the DEA, so many of his contracts. So a data mining, the most powerful, largest data mining company in the world is servicing our government, who happens to be really good friends with JD Vance, who happens to be something that um, um, Peter Thiel uh, is like a wow to Elon Musk. All of these things, and don't forget. Let's please not forget. If I didn't mention it, I think I did, but if I didn't mention it, that the political leader of the technocracy party in Canada before it was banned was Elon Musk's grandfather on his mother's side. There was another connection that I was like, what? Now I know Musk is his own person. Don't get me wrong. I understand that, you know, but sometimes the apple doesn't fall from the fall far from the tree. So when your grandfather is the political party leader of technocracy in Canada before it was banned, and you agree with people like Peter Thiel, and you are now doing the Doge for our government, which is awesome and amazing, but is very similar to the Rage, which is the remove all government employees ideology of dark enlightenment. That's getting a little too close to home. It's a little uncomfortable. Sure, it is. You've heard of that. Good. Elon also may pay. Yeah, well, yes, Elon is part of the PayPal mafia. Are you reading my notes, Jason McCaddy? What are you doing over there? Hmm? You reading my notes? Okay. So let's get a short list here of who supports the theories of the Dark Enlightenment technocracy. Here's some of the people. Peter Thiel, we already talked about him. Hey, Jody. Evening. A beautiful lady. Hello. So Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, Steve Bannon, Michael Anton, who's in Trump's administration, Bezos, all of these extremely powerful, wealthy people who happen to be embedded in one way or another in the cabinet and the administration. Elon. So I want to talk about the cabinet and a few of the cabinet members that support this same theory as well. Akash Baba, who's the Department of Government Efficiency. Anthony Gensko, Department of Government Efficiency. Clark Miner, Chief Information Officer, Information Officer, Information Officer at the Department of Health and Human Services. George Cooper, Department of Government Efficiency. Greg Barbese, I hope I'm saying that right, Barbese, Chief Information Officer for Management and Budget for the government. Jacob Helberg, who's under the state for economic growth, energy, and environment. All of these people are part of the cabinet. All of these people support or agree with a lot of the ideology of technocracy, the dark enlightenment. I am dark maga. Like it didn't sit well with me when I first heard it, and I had no idea why. But now I think I'm understanding why. Because one, it's just MAGA, okay? Do I like the red hat? No. To be honest, I hate the color red. I freaking hate it. But it's just MAGA. It's just Make America Great Again, which, by the way, Ronald Reagan used that slogan in his campaign, Make America Great Again. Hold on one second. What? Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, go for it. Go for it. Sorry. Putting chickens away is that time. So that came from Ronald Reagan, who Trump admired very, very much. Very, very much. Um, that's where Make America Great Again came from. I just want everybody to know that. It wasn't something that Trump kind of just pulled out of his ass. Literally, it was somebody else's campaign speech. Either way, it's still good. Either way, I like it. I'm not dissing on it. Make America Great Again. Absolutely. I don't see Mike. Bill says, hi, Mike. Mike who? I don't see no Mike up in here. It's a new dawn in America. Listen, I'm not saying that I don't like Doge. I'm not saying I don't like what that department is doing because it needs to be done, right? The swamp needs to be drained. It needs to be done. What I worry about is what it means 5 or 10 years from now when you're looking at all of the people that are involved and have been embedded into this new administration. That's the thing that worries me. When we have people that are so powerful that can control everything, everything they know everything. They know your search engines, they know how much is in your bank account, they know your medical records, they know everything, and they're buying and selling and trading it for the idea of technocracy, which is, I think, this is a personal opinion. I don't know because I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. Where we're going for future. When I look at this one reason I don't go on Facebook a lot because I look at these stupid reels, right? Most of these reels are fake as heck. Fake as heck. Tell me this. Somebody just happens to be videotaping the rescue of something amazing. They just happen to be there. So many Facebook reels are scripted, but so many of them are AI. They're not even real. You're watching a reel that ain't real. And you're fascinated by it. You're like, oh my God, that's awesome. That's cute. Look at that. It's not even real. Hi, neighbor. How are you? We're on YouTube here too, neighbor, where I can actually see all your comments. So, neighbor, if you want to jump over, great. If you don't, that's cool too. Think white male, Tammy. Nice quote from Ronald Reagan. Are you talking about Mike Rage, Bill? If he's here, hello. That's my husband. Don't know. Don't. I didn't see him. I didn't see him. He should be working. But anyway, let me get back to it. We're coming into an age where we don't know what is real and what's not real, right? I mean, it's hard to almost tell the difference. You see some of those videos where people can put on a whole entire fake human mask and become something else, become somebody else. This do I think this is where we're heading? Not 100%, but it's not out of the park. It's not something that can't happen. It's not something that wouldn't happen or won't happen. Look at some of the crap that's happened in this country in the last 10 years. Blow your mind. You'd think, no way, did I ever think that would ever happen? And it happened. Oh, Bill. Oh, no, no, no. He's working. He's working. I gotta have some old coffee. You guys like this painting over here? Hold on. Right here. That painting was done in Cape Cod when my nana was on vacation and she was 40 years old. And that painting is so cherished and it was finally handed down to me. And I remember when I was a kid, And I would visit her and I would see that in her condo. And I would just think, wow, like you are amazing. My Nana was amazing. I tell you, she still is. Don't get me wrong. Okay. 86 years old. She'll put one on you. But as a kid, right? And I grew up in foster care. So I grew up in foster care and it was not nice foster care. It was the horror story foster care. Like maybe someday we'll get into that. Things that never should happen to kids. But I would go and visit her sometimes. She had a Trans Am, right? Silver red leather interior with the phoenix on the hood, dressed to the nines, gorgeous jewelry, beautiful condo. And I would look up at that painting and I would just be like, man, you're so amazing. Hey, Jonathan. Hi, Mike. Michael Winey's in here and Raj. Guys, we're over on YouTube too because Facebook is blocking all comments on my Facebook. So we're over here on YouTube just chatting it up too. So you guys can stay on Facebook or go over to the YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. You guys know the deal. It's all about the likes, the subscribing, the clicking, the blah, 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 blah. Otherwise, YouTube's like, you know what? You're not worth your time. You're not worth our time. So I grew myself so you might not want me angry. I grew myself so you might not want me angry. What year Trans Am? I have to ask her. I I wanna think 86, 80. I know it was a limited edition Bandit Trans Am. Um, I have a picture of it. Ow, oh, hurt my back. Oh, I have a picture of it downstairs. Um, but yeah, my Nana was something to be reckoned with. Woo! So that painting right there, I cherish because I never thought I would get it. Okay, Jody, and it was finally passed to me from my aunt, and it's the greatest gift. Reminds me of happy, simple times, dreamy things, and all the aspirations of what I wanted to be when I grew up, which was a strong, independent woman, crazy, fun. She was pretty cool. Mm, that coffee is about as old as I am. Okay, so I want to read to you guys a quote from an interview from this Yarvin guy who was the co-writer or creator or whatever of the Dark Enlightenment, which is an extension of the technocracy. I want to read this to you because it's pretty sick. And again, I'm going to add, thank you. Thank you. I hope I say your name right, Famata. Walker's up in here. Walker, I love Walker. Walker's great. Walker's my pepper buddy, and he's a Texan, and I love him. He's cool. So thank you. I hope I say your name right, Fiamata. I hope I did. Beautiful name. So I want to read this to you because and this will be in the link that because I want you guys to go and watch the reels that or the shorts that I watched on YouTube because again, like I said, he's going to explain it a lot smoother, a lot better than me. I'm just trying to, again, talk to you guys, but just wrap my head around what the heck is really going on. Much love this, you know that. Darn it, darn it. So this was actually what he said in an interview, Yarden, the Dark Enlightenment, technocracy. Our goal is a humane alternative to genocide. That is, the ideal solution achieves the same results as mass murder, the removal of undesirable elements from society. So who would be, oh, Jody, darling. Mwah. Um, so who would be undesirable? I know I would be. I would be undesirable. I would fit in his category of needing to be eliminated. Um, Seniors, elderly, anybody who puts any weight on the healthcare system, you are undesirable, right? So the removal of undesirable elements from society with no moral stigma. The best humane alternative to genocide I can think of is not to liquidate the wards meaning people, metaphorically or literally, but to virtualize them. A virtualized human is a permanent solitary confinement. They would be put in a permanent solitary confinement, waxed like a bee into a cell which is sealed except for emergencies. Again, this is a guy who co-authored an ideology, the technocracy, the dark enlightenment, the same exact people that people like, and I'm sorry, again, you will see it in the videos I post. I'm not the only one. That people like JD Vance, Bezos, um, um, Boeing, Peter Thiel, all of these people are agreeing with, supporting, reading their books, quoting the guy. We're not done. Immersive virtual reality interface is what will keep people sane. It allows him to have an experience which is a rich, fulfilling life in a completely imaginary world. Like Matrix? Would that be kind of what they're talking about? This was actually quoted from an interview, which one of these videos will show you. And this guy says it calmly. Like, it ain't no big deal. Like, listen, we've got to do something about all of the undesirables, all of the people that are draining the system. Genocide. It would be like mass murder, but with no moral stigma. I mean, I'm sorry, am I missing something? I feel like I'm listening to like Hitler's grandson in a way. Maybe that's dramatic. I'm not sure. Maybe that's too dramatic. Then again, is it? Is it that far-fetched? These are things I'm trying to wrap my head around, and I'm doing the, "Hey, John. Hey, Natasha. We're over on YouTube too if you guys want to come over here because Facebook's limiting my comments on Facebook, but not over here on YouTube. But you could stay there if you want to." Transhumanization. Yep. And no, not too dramatic, Crystal says. Here's the deal. I'm not trying to scare people. No. I'm not trying to make people dislike Elon or oh, Natasha, you may have to go back and watch. You missed it. And it's a lot to recap. It's a lot to recap. But I'm not saying don't like these people. I'm not saying don't trust the process they're doing right now, because I do. Again, I think Doge is great. I think that we need to know what our government is doing, and I think it's amazing, great, and wonderful that Doge is so transparent. But again, if you think about, this is where the tinfoil hat's going to come out, the conspiracy theorist in me goes, he's just so great. He's so transparent. He's so trustworthy. And he's doing such a great job. And then you start to really, really get into that whole thing of, well, he can do no wrong. And if he did an amazing job with Doge, what else? What are his plans for us for the future? We depend on him so much that it's scary. Just like a lot of people, and don't get me wrong, Jimmy Pickles, what's going on, Pickles? We're also on YouTube. We're live. We're live on both. Don't get me wrong. I voted for Trump. I'm pretty sure if anybody knew me back in 2016, prior to the election, and even during the election, I said the best person to run this country is a businessman because the country is a business. And I wasn't wrong on that. But I'm not saying it in a format to support technocracy. Oh, hell no. Personally, if I had it my way, I would be free as a bird. I don't wanna answer to anybody. I don't wanna pay taxes on taxes on taxes on taxes. I don't wanna have to watch what I say and whose feelings I hurt. I kinda technically wanna be left the F alone, and I certainly don't want a government to chastise me when I am we the people. I am one of those people, just like everybody here, just like everybody out there. We own and control our lives. Still, I don't know for how long. Trump talks about a third term. Technocracy talks about how democracy and technology cannot exist together. And we are in the age of technology. So without technology, what happens? Where does the Constitution go? And don't get me wrong, we're a constitutional republic, even though the left would like to say that it's a democracy. Everything's a democracy, a democracy. Oh, they're suppressing our democracy. Oh, you're saying that because your base, the people who still listen to you, which isn't many, are so uneducated that they're like, yes, geez, oh, our democracy. Oh, God. Oh, no, it isn't like that. We're a constitutional republic. We abide by the laws of the Constitution and our God given rights, the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, as long as you're not shitbagging on somebody else. Those are our rights. But in technocracy, the Constitution no longer exists because democracy and technology cannot coexist. And that has been said by J.D. Vance. That has been said by Elon Musk. That has been said by Peter Thiel. That has been said by Bezos. That has been said by everybody right now that's holding the eight ball. And that's kind of scary to me. It's kind of scary to me that if you don't like what I'm doing, you can just shut off, I don't know, like my Facebook. Like my whole entire Tammy Never Hillary Lee account was just gone in a second. I went on to check notifications. I got a phone call. I went back to go to Facebook and it was gone. Completely erased, deleted, like it never existed. Like I never existed. Like the work I did never existed. And it was that quick. That quick. And the only thing left to Tammy Never Hillary Lee are the videos and the pictures that were saved because it's now out of the memory and the minds of so many people. And I was just one of many, just one. But that's how quick they can shut your life off. That's right, Jonathan. The right to life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness. Nobody should be allowed to take that away or muddy that or decide who deserves happiness and who is undesirable. Sounds a lot like Hillary Clinton, right? But it does. So, what do you guys think? What do you think? They could take what Tammy did out of our mind. Oh, thank you, Bill. I mean, I appreciate it, and it feels like a lifetime ago. You know what I mean? Um, Especially now that like I'm not as healthy as I was. Like my back is healing because I did fracture my back. My back is healing. Like, look, I can move like this most of the time. Um, it seems like a lifetime ago. I was a Crystal says I was a warrior. I thank you. Thank you, Mike Winey. Thank you. I know the people that have been here a long time. I know that you guys remember. But think about how long ago that was. Doesn't it feel like a lifetime ago? Doesn't it feel like it almost felt like it wasn't real. Do you know what I mean? Um, do I wish I could do it again? I kinda do. Not gonna lie, I kinda do. If I wasn't as sick as I am now and committed to my homestead and all my animals and my nana and my husband, I would be. It's exactly what I would be doing. And you know what? I would go down in the blaze of glory if I had none of these other things to keep me grounded. But don't think for 1 second, and here's the funny thing, don't think for 1 second that the fight in me is gone, that the warrior is gone. It's not. I just don't have the energy all the time. I don't have the energy all the time. I really don't. And that's a hard thing to adjust to. It's very hard to put the sword down. It's very hard to do. Brandy, hello. Too many of us remember your contributions in that way. Oh yeah, Brandy, I know. God, Mike and I sit and talk a lot about it because Mike's done a lot of things too. He did a lot of things that weren't in the public eye, like being on the border in Arizona, trying to keep cartels out. Uh, he did a lot of things too, and him and I always talk. We talk. Um, and we're like, if we had nothing to lose, we've got nothing to lose, you know? And I'm not trying to have inflammatory speech here. You still got to watch what you say. But I know that if my country needed me, I know exactly where I'd be. That's all I can say. So think about what I said, guys. Again, I'm not trying to minimize what Doge is doing or what Trump is doing. I'm really not. But I'm not going to agree or feel comfortable with everything. And if I don't, I've got to say something. I've got to talk about it. Go look it up. Go look up technocracy. When I put this link in the comments, go listen to this Brandon Acito. I believe that's how you pronounce his name, because it's going to give you a perspective and you're going to kind of sit back and go, wow, maybe I should pay a little bit more attention to some of the things that are said, because maybe those things aren't being said and I'm interpreting them in ways that they're not meant to be interpreted, but so easily they can be construed as something else, right? I am dark MAGA. Does not sit well with me. I don't like it. Now, if it was I am bright MAGA, I am super MAGA, that'd be great. But dark MAGA, I don't like that. It makes me uncomfortable. But so does the whole thing with technocracy, dark enlightenment. It's all very strange. Look it up. Exactly, Brandy. Exactly. Oh, the hurricane Harvey in Texas. Yeah, that was something. Jody, I got in the Freedom Van, didn't know how long I'd be gone, didn't know what I'd be doing or where we would land, and I was picking people up along the way. Some were not so wonderful, some didn't turn out to be so great, but all in all, we had a lot of good people down there. Um, I still have the tattoo from it right here. All of us, a big group of us, we all got the same exact tattoo. It means one family in Cambodian. We all have it tattooed somewhere on our bodies because at that time, for the 5 weeks that we were there, we were one family and we were doing something incredible, which was putting our lives on hold uh, to help that little village. And I don't know if they fully understood what we were doing. Um, it turned out to kind of be a shit show at the end. It kind of did, which was really depressing. Um, and aggravated me. people's reason for being there had shifted and changed, and it wasn't everything I was wanting. I wanted to go and help, and I wanted to use my platform to help these people, and other people were working against that, and I find that strange. I dropped everything in my life for 5 weeks. I wasn't planning on being gone 5 weeks. I thought, "Okay, let's go down for a week. We'll drop supplies, we'll get supply chain set up, and we'll head out of there." Um, but I couldn't leave. The connections were too strong. Um, I had a lot of connections, and I had to use them all, and I had to try to utilize them. Me and my team, um, we did the best that we could, and we took a lot of heat for that. But I did have a video go viral when I basically just trashed that news reporter. That was great. I mean, that went viral. That had over 1,000,000 views. Um, but that was yeah. So, we went down with good intentions and good hearts and open minds and hands, and, I wanna feel like we made a connection and a difference for as long as they allowed us to. Um, but then FEMA people started coming in, and FEMA people were starting to kick us out and try to get us out of there, and it just turned into a mess, and, uh, then it was just time to just go. So but I won't regret that. I won't regret, doing that. By the time I was done, I left, I was so sick. I hadn't been on any biochemos. I was so sick when I got home. I think 3 weeks later, I had a huge, massive three-section abdominal surgery, and that's when I got the ostomy and had to be on TPN therapy because I had just depleted everything that I had and then some. And I've never really recovered since, not to where I'd like to be. But I did. I did. I verbally stomped a mud hole in that reporter. Oh, man, we shut her Twitter down. Remember that? We shut her Twitter down, the news station, everything. It was awesome because I was like, "Don't you dare. Don't you dare come in here and try to say we're something we're not. Who are you?" Oh, it was great. I think I still have the screenshot because the video got lost when my Tammy Never Hillary Lee account got erased, but I still have the screenshot. It's great. I wish I still had that video. Maybe I do somewhere. I don't really know. Um, I don't really know. It was epic. It was pretty epic. Yes, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Bill. I did. I mean, I did. I mean, on average, a good day for me would be 2, 300,000 views. That was an average. A shitty day would be 100,000 views. Um, it doesn't matter, but when you're trying to get the word out and when you're trying to educate people and bring them in the know and trying to give them support and trying to rally the troops, then it does matter. It does matter. That's when it mattered, because it's not like I was monetized, it's not like I was getting paid for all these views, but to me, it was like, "Okay, how many people did I reach today? How many people heard what I felt was important?" And it's not about me, but it's, bringing facts or showing videos of these rallies and what Antifa was doing at the time and what we were going through and all that was important to me. I started doing all of that stuff, not to be a public figure, but just to show people what was going on, kinda like a journalist would, a video journalist, but it grew from there and it became something else. It became, I was a public figure and I was going everywhere and everybody knew me and I would get stopped on seriously, I would get stopped on the street. People would be like, "Oh my gosh, can I have your autograph? I know who you are." And it's just like, "Whoa." But the views mattered because I needed to know how many people I was reaching and how many people were hearing and seeing what was going on. That's when it mattered, you know? So, Yes, Bill. Oh, that was another one that went by. Yes, when she said she would rather be raped 100 times than to know that somebody had a gun in school. That's what she said. Remember that? In Albany. Yes. At the teen walkout that the students were on, that the teachers organized. And when I was questioning them about their constitutional rights, they didn't know any. And the one kid said, well, our teacher didn't tell us what to say. And I thought that was such an important moment. Or our teacher didn't tell us what to say. Right there, like in front of everybody's face. This is complete indoctrination. Like you're out there protesting and you don't even know why you're out there protesting because your teacher forgot to put that in the freaking memo. Hi, Vicky. Vicky remembers that. To me, that was paramount. It was like, wake up, people. This is what our kids are learning, what they're going through, how they're being. Here's your proof. Do you want proof of indoctrination? Because I got it right here. Why was that not why were those videos not on Fox News? You see some of the dumbest shit on Fox News, and I'm sorry, Tommy Lahren, well, I know she's amazing. A lot of people don't know I knew Tommy Lahren way back in the day, way back in the day. Okay, not so amazing. Okay, it's easy when it's scripted for you. Sorry, if there's any Tommy Lahren fans in here, I'm sorry. But while you're getting glammed up and somebody's writing all of the things you need to say, and you just get to go on camera and be really pretty and talk about it, while people like us were out there, boots on the ground, doing the things that you were talking about, fake news, fake news. But why wasn't that on Fox News? Why weren't things like that broadcast? Because even Fox News, you have to fit a certain criteria. And even though what we were doing out there, all of us was very important, wasn't important enough because they had to run the narrative. If I could talk really about Charlottesville, the real story, the real side, half of you would faint and pass out. The other half of you would be mad because you think I'm telling a lie. But these news stations, they want to run the narrative on that. I was there at Charlottesville. I was there talking to the local police, the state police, the FBI. I did all that. I organized and helped that militia. What are you talking about? There's nobody that knows what happened there more than me. But nobody will ever ask me, and nobody will ever want to know because knowing some truths are too ugly. And we want it in a pretty package. Yeah, James Woods. Yeah. Bill, how do you remember that? James Woods did retweet that. How did you remember that? You're so crazy. Yeah, Tommy Lahren, she's all glitz and glamour. Um, but she just takes other people's materials and it's all scripted and she made a deal with the devil a long time ago. And I won't get into that. I won't get into it, Tommy. I won't get into it. That's why a lot of people had it out for me because I just knew too much about too much. I don't know. But I'm getting way off topic and I've been on for over an hour and I feel awful and terrible. But thank you guys for being here with me. We will be doing this on the regular. Um, if there's anything you guys want to talk about, post it to me. Put it in the comments on Facebook or YouTube. If you guys want me to like research a topic or just chew the fat about a topic, I don't care. It doesn't have to even be politics. It can be anything. We can talk about anything you want. I happen to know a lot about a lot, a little bit about everything. I don't know. But let's do this on the reg. Now that I figured out how to go live from YouTube, because I'm a retard sometimes, not tech savvy, you know what I'm saying? But well, let's do this again. Jonathan, memo, good by bad bird. You're a better journalist than the network news. Thank you guys. Thank you on Facebook. I love you guys. Mwah. I love you guys. But yeah, I'm gonna go. Thank you guys for being here. Hit the like button, subscribe, have your friends subscribe, whatever. Um, and let's just keep doing this because it's fun, and I like to talk about a lot of different things, man. And technocracy was one that just blew my mind, and I'm like, I have to talk about this. I have to see what the people think, and do they know, and all of these pieces that are connected, and all these people that are connected. I'm just saying, keep your ears and your eyes open wide and listen to really what people are saying. Oh, and another thing, I don't think we should force Greenland into anything. It'd be like a country coming over here and trying to force us to do something because it benefits them. I don't know how to feel about that either, but I just don't think we should be forcing other countries to do what we want. Do we represent freedom? Freedom for all? Freedom isn't just for Americans, it's pretty much for everybody. So I really don't know how to feel about that either. It doesn't leave a really great taste in my mouth. Um, you know what I mean? So what are your thoughts on that? But let me know. Um, oh, the pickle spice. Yes, that one. Oh, that is the bomb, baby. I'm telling you right now. I got more. I got to get my shop kind of under control here. I kind of took a nosedive when I broke my back. Um, kind of did, but that's okay. Um, yeah, kick up your pickle is so tasty. If you like pickles and you like a little bit of heat or a lot, don't matter. Um, Kick Up Your Pickle is a product that I sell from Magic Man Hot Sauce, and it's good. Oh, it's so good. Like I eat it right out of the bag. That's how good it is. Yeah, Crystal, I'm seeing different headlines on that, and I some people are saying they want it, but other people are saying that Greenland is just not they're anti-American. I don't know. They don't want. I don't know what's happening. You know, I hear Trump say that if they have to, they'll force it. That leads me to believe they don't really want it. I don't know what's going on. Let's see how that unfolds. Let's see what happens with that too. Um, Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, hopefully I go and see the back doctor. Let's hope and pray, please, that this fracture has healed good and I don't need some kind of crazy surgery on it because I'm not going to do it. Um, and again, let me know what topics you guys want to talk about and chew the fat about. Um, that's it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for taking it all in. And just hit the like and subscribe, whatever. And we'll do this again. I'll post next time I go live. All right. Thank you guys. Peace.